So all eyes are going to be on the Supreme Court today because it's going to deliver the very, very crucial verdict on the economically weaker sections getting a quota or not. Remember, the arguments have taken place in the Supreme Court. The centre has said that there should be quota for the economically weaker sections, but it has been challenged as well. This is an amendment to the 103rd constitutional amendment. This provides a 10% quota for the economically weaker sections. Now, according to the updated cause list in the case, the verdict will be delivered by a 5-judge constitutional bench headed by CJI Uday Umesh Lalit. Now, some of the vital issues the judgment may address also includes whether the EWS quota violated the basic structure of the Constitution, whether the reservation was contrary to the Equality Code to treat all equally without discrimination, and more importantly, if the reservation ate into the future prospects of the merit-based candidates. So now let's get you the details of what the case is about. Who are the people who are going to be affected by it? Why is it so crucial? So first, let's tell you who are the ones who will be considered in the economically weaker sections, those who will be eligible for this quota once it is cleared by the Supreme Court. One, of course, those who have household income of less than 8 lakh rupees per year. So they're going to be considered economically weaker sections and they will be eligible for this quota. So those who have agricultural land of less than 5 acres will also be considered for this. Remember, one of the reasons why this is so politically significant is because it's going to affect a large population. So those who have a house that is smaller than 1,000 square feet are also going to be a part of the economically weaker sections, so eligible for the quota. Those who have a residential plot that is smaller than 100 yards. So this is in a municipality. So these are the various structures that have been provided by the centre on those who will be eligible for this. Those who have a residential plot of less than 200 yards in a non-notified municipality will also be considered for the quota. Remember, we spoke about how important it's going to be politically as well. So to talk to us more about it, legal editor Harish Nair joining us from the broadcast from right outside the Supreme Court. Harish, he'll be joining us in just a bit, but a very, very important verdict. It's going to be because it's going to be affecting people across the country. The argument being that why should the reservations only be based on the caste lines or for the SCs or the STs or other sections, as has been the case until now. The argument being that it should also be extended to those from the economically weaker section. So this is an argument that had been made. Politically, it's going to have a big impact because large sections of people are going to be affected by it, which is why there was some opposition to it as well. But it has been taken to the Supreme Court where, remember, the Supreme Court had also made an observation. This could, of course, be a hint into what the court verdict could be. The judge had said that we are always classified on the basis of caste. Harish Nair is back with us. Harish, so today is going to be extremely significant. While the hearing was on, the judge had spoken about how the divisions are made based on caste. The identity becomes caste. So that's the question that had been asked by the judge. So today, the verdict is going to be extremely crucial. What's expected?
Yes, that's right, Pratibha. The 5-judge constitution bench led by Chief Justice Uday Umesh Lalit will at 10:30 pronounce judgment on batch of 40 petitions which have challenged the Constitution's 103rd Amendment, which has put in place a 10% reservation for the economically weaker section in matters of education and employment. So, in fact, the community which comes under this reservation is persons other than SC, ST, OBC, and as you rightly said, those who have annual family income of less than 8 lakh. In fact, the petitioners have argued that this reservation is deceitful and attempt to bring down the reservation for the OBC, SC and the SC/ST classes, and is in violation of the basic structure of the constitution, and is also direct violation of the 1992 Indira Sawhney judgment, which is called the Mandal Commission judgment, which had fixed a ceiling of 50% reservation, and because this adds 10% more to the 50%. But the centre has vehemently argued that this EWS quota was brought out to do justice to the poor among the general category, and does not in any way affect the basic structure of the constitution, and also says that this reservation is necessary for the benefit of the general category, though economically weaker sections in the general category, and it is in no way in violation of the right to equality or is discriminatory. So these are the arguments put forward by both sides. We'll have to wait and watch what kind of judgment will the Supreme Court Constitution bench pass at 10:30, whether it will uphold the EWS quota or strike it down. Back to you.
Okay, all right. In fact, let's talk about essentially what the Supreme Court is going to be deciding today, Harish. Just to apprise our viewers, the Supreme Court will decide three very crucial aspects. One, is the reservation based solely on the economically backwardness constitutionally valid? Is this constitutionally valid or not? Because the Constitution, remember, guarantees equal treatment for all. So is this a violation of that or not? Another is your reservation in private institutes based on economically weaker sections valid? Because remember, for a lot of quotas, it may be applicable in the government jobs, but is it also applicable in the private entities? That's going to be decided by the Supreme Court today. The Act excluded the SCs, STs and OBCs from the economically weaker sections definition. So is it constitutionally valid or not? That's also going to be one of the very crucial questions that's going to be decided by the Supreme Court. We keep our eyes out on that. Harish, thank you for joining us with those details. We'll come back to you as and when there are updates on that. For now, shifting our focus to some more